Hello everyone, today I'm gonna teach you how to make Edam. And Edam is basically just tomato and tomato sauce, and then what you add to it is whatever kinds of vegetables or meat or chicken you'd like to use. So these are the ingredients we're gonna use today. We're gonna use one small diced tomato, a small diced onion, meat, this is boneless, and small cubed basically. Yeah, we're not gonna cut it any smaller than this. These are the veggies we're going to use, green beans. We're going to use some garlic. This is 3 cloves of garlic. I added more because we like garlic in our food. We're going to use salt, pepper, and then a little bit of oil. So let's get started with the sauteing. So let's get started. We're going to heat this pot. We're going to add just a little bit of oil. This is to saute, not a lot, just a little bit. We're going to saute the meat in here. And then we're going to add the tomatoes and the tomato paste and make a little like watery stew thing. And then we're going to add the veggies. Before we saute the meat, we're actually going to add the garlic and the onions first. So let's get this hot and then we'll start. So we're going to add the onions. We're going to add the garlic. We're going to brown this just for a little bit, and then we're going to add the meat. Okay, it's lightly browned and sauteed. We're going to add the meat. We're going to give this a little bit of a brown color. And then we're going to add the water. At this point, I actually like to add the seasoning. I like to add the salt and pepper so that the meat can absorb it. So we're going to add some of this kosher salt. About a half a tablespoon of kosher salt. We're going to add a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Not too much. As you can see, the meat is slightly browned. We're just going to leave it a little bit more on the fire to get just a little bit more brown, and then we're going to add some water and boil it through. The reason we're doing this is because we're not really going to add meat stock or chicken stock. The meat is the juices are actually going to make the stock by itself. So no additional broth. Yeah. We're going to add a half a teaspoon of cumin powder. We're going to add first tomato paste. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of this. So that's about 1 tablespoon. We're going to just mix it in, and then we're going to add the tomato cubes. After mixing this together, we're going to add the tomato cubes until the tomatoes are soft. Then we're going to add the water. As you can see, it's nice and brown. I added the tomatoes. We're just going to let this soften up a little bit, and then we're just going to add the water. We're going to add the water after. So 2 more minutes of this, and then we're going to add the water. We're going to add about 2 cups and a half, no, just 2 cups of water. After this reduces down to half the level of water of what it is right now, we're going to add the vegetables. I'm going to add an extra tablespoon because this actually is too light. So we're going to add an extra tablespoon of tomato sauce, and then we're just going to let this simmer down for a bit. We're going to close this for about 20 minutes on high heat, and then we'll come back after 20 minutes and we'll see what happens. Okay, so 20 minutes later. The water is half reduced, though the meat is still hard. If you just try to stab it a little bit, if it's too hard, we're going to add more hot water. About another half a cup. We want to make sure before we add any veggies that the meat is soft. Or not soft, it's cooked. It's not hard anymore. So we're going to wait another 10 minutes on this, and then we're going to add the veggies. Okay, so the water has been reduced. I actually added water twice, and you want to make sure that the meat is easy to cut through, which it is. We're gonna add the beans. Now the beans, add them gradually. You don't want to add too much or too little. So we're gonna add just half of this first, and we're gonna see if it's enough for the water. A tip for this is that you don't want, you shouldn't cover any green vegetables when you're making it with water or anything like this, because the vegetables tend to become black or darken, and you want it to keep that vibrant green color. Okay, so we're just gonna add all of it. The ratio of vegetables to the sauce it should be 2 to 1. So basically, it should be more than the water, the vegetables. Okay, so this is gonna cook relatively fast, maybe 10 more minutes. As I said, don't cover it. You want it to keep the green color, and always taste the food. Taste it while you're seasoning. You want to make sure it's not too salty. If it is too salty, you can add more water. That's why you should always add salt gradually. So that's it. Please leave any comments if you have any comments or suggestions, or just any questions, and I'll be happy to help. Thank you. Good luck. Bye.